careful that you don't think you're dealing with a different search. So then under your actions, you could do send broadcast.
Far out.
Email. Okay, so see you've got 3 from the search plus yourself.
Yep.
So it's added you from your login.
Yep.
So so next on that one. So this is just and normal. It'll give you any other information like if there's 2 people in that list that have opted out that they won't be sent to and blah blah blah. So first bit at the top, do you want to start from scratch or pick an existing email and modify it? So that's probably the one that you're going to do most of the time. So if you click pick an existing email, then you'll see you've got the choice of templates, drafts. I don't know what's showing 0 items in sent. That's weird. If you go to
0 items for this.
normally, oh no, it's because you haven't sent any. If it was me, it's got a whole heap because I've sent a whole heap.
Oh, yeah.
But for you, it's I get it now because I'm thinking. I'm sure last time I looked at that there was a whole heap in there. So if you go to templates, then I've got a default one in there.
For broadcasts.
Yeah, now... Oh no, sorry, that's their default. Default Biz Renovators is my default.
Okay. Click on use this.
Yes, yep. Now, your template picker, is it not closed?
Yeah, it's taking
Okay.
a few seconds to click on
Yep.
work. It's whittling down with rain here.
It was us yesterday. So, okay, so there we go. We've got, and the default has changed a little bit since this, but that's cool. I'll show you a few things. You'll notice we've got an issue with the spam score there, and I'll show you what that is. If you scroll to the top, you'll see that we can change, because I want to show you all of your different options you've got here. You can change in a drop down at the top who it's being sent from. Either at the moment it's on otherwhere, so it's manually populated. The other options is you or various, I can't remember what so different users, or that other option where you manually populate something.
Okay, so I've chosen you.
Yep, okay, so subject. See, it's already got a merge field in it. It's got their first name.
Luke, ignore this. Tony and I are training.
Okay, now click your merge field because I'm going to show you something that was an interesting thought over some of the stuff I've learnt over the weekend.
Yep.
So we can merge with anything that we've got on file. So one of the things
What do you mean by that?
So any information we've got on file for a person. So you'll see there we already had contact first name in there.
Yep.
So you actually should take Luke, ignore this, because it will say Luke. It'll pick it up, and for you it'll say Al, and for me it'll say Tony, because it's merging that data. But here's the little trick. I think it was Perry, or was it somebody else over the weekend, the idea of doing targeted stuff. So let's say down the track, with some of the local business stuff that we've talked about, let's say we're doing a mail out to Pottsville. Alan, the hottest thing coming for Pottsville businesses. if we know that it'll merge if we've got that data on that person.
So when I look at these merge fields, it's got company, logged in user, contacts, but it doesn't have something like location.
Okay, so contact fields additional.
Oh, I see. Holy moly.
And obviously you can have a default so that if you don't have on file that they're from Pottsville, that it will say Australian.
Yeah.
Or New South Wales or whatever. You can adjust your defaults so that you get something in there when there's nothing there. But just planting a seed of an idea that there's so many things that can be done when we start leveraging this system to its full potential.
Yeah.
I think Luke's still sceptical as to what it can do, but there is so much.
He's not really sceptical, dude. He's never looked inside it. Like me, he's used Aweber.
And had a bad experience in the past.
Oh, well, with Infusionsoft, the guy who actually put it together, that's where the experience started to fall apart. And the truth of the matter is that I can see the power of it, but like any very powerful customer relationship management system, it's all dependent on the time and effort you put in terms of putting the data in and all that kind of stuff. And that, when you're starting out, the time and effort you've got to really get into this is zero.
And hopefully you can now start to see just how much dedication I've actually put into how far this has come so far.
Yeah, look, I get that. I really do, dude. And that was never in question. I've always known that.
Yep.
Infusionsoft in and of itself is a fairly significant undertaking. So.
Oh, and that's why it's called Infusionsoft.
Yeah. Because it's a big tool. Okay, so that's a merge field.
So see our send as HTML plain text, HTML and plain text.
Yep.
If you just choose HTML, they will still get a whatever it's called, a MIME or whatever, where if for some reason they can't read the HTML, they will get something that says this email was sent in HTML only. Click here to view, it won't have click here. It'll have the link. View on a web page, and it'll have the Infusionsoft version, the Infusionsoft hosted version.
And what I get is to see these images, press right click to download pictures.
Yeah. And you'll notice, and I'll show you this because this is important for all emails. You'll notice I alt tag these so that it says that. That doesn't just happen. That's one of my little tricks that again I picked up off some internet marketer when I saw it happen on an email that I got, and I thought, we've got to start using that because otherwise people get these big blank spots and don't know what they're supposed to do with it.
Yep.
So edit email body is your thing now. And this is the drag and drop builder. The drag and drop builder does have some limitations as opposed to doing full HTML emails. So if you click on just edit, by default it'll take you to the drag and drop. The classic or the code builder you can do more with, but I've deliberately stayed away from it because I wanted to keep this process as simple as possible.
Yep.
So see, we've got all those snippets over to the right hand side. We can drag and drop them on. So that Business Renovators logo is an image snippet. So when I created that, I dragged that image snippet onto the page.
Yep.
If you now double click on it, you can edit it.
So double click on there.
Yep.
Okay.
So now all sorts of different bits and pieces, like do you want it to align right? What size do you want it to be? What is the alt text? And you'll see how I've got allow images to see the Business Renovators logo.
Yep.
So that's the image. If you close out of that, and pretty obvious, little blue link there to upload a new one or add a new image or whatever, you can upload it or you can pick from an existing one or so on.
Yep.
If you're selected on that image, so if you just click on the image, you can still do other things in the top menu, like link. Now, highly recommended to link every image to somewhere. Now, I'm not sure in this template if I have actually got it linked, but that should be linked to the website.
It's not.
Okay, well, I missed that one. And also, Luke said to me to pull that one out at the top. So pretty obvious with that. We can also, you'll see below it, we can also apply actions. Now the actions might be, and I haven't actually got, I think I've got one of these in place for one of our old campaigns. So you can put an action like, it might be apply a tag because they clicked this link. Now, we know how people are interacting with pages and things anyway, but it's a type of thing like if you were sending out to an affiliate offer, so you did a JV send for somebody,
yep,
and you wanted to know how many clicks you got, well, you'd tag everybody. You'd use the action of apply a tag to everybody who clicked that link so you know how many people have clicked through on each link. Or if we were split testing emails, and again, at some stage we should do this, we might have in there, webinar campaign, email 1, link 2, link 3, so that we can start to analyse in the emails, are people clicking the top link or the middle link or the bottom link? So there's so much stuff can be done when time and energy permits. This section, that's called a article, I think.
This one?
Yeah, or it might be the title. No, I think it's the no. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't bother going and learning any of these. You drag and drop them, you see what it is, and then you go from there.
All right. So to edit this, we just
double click it. You should. Oh yeah, you're in there now. Yep. So you can edit whatever you like. You can put links in there. You can put. Now here's the trick though. If you want to put in an image, usually your best way is to. I mean, you can put an image in there in an article block, but what I've been doing is putting them in as a separate image block.
Yeah, makes sense.
And having several paragraph blocks. Now, as you scroll down, you'll see I've got the images of you guys. I've also got the Biz Renovators image. And I think in later versions I've put a couple of spaces, like other emails that I've sent, I've put a couple of spaces in. And the reason is to push the unsubscribe block down. So there's some other ideas I have to look back over. Just fish into the circles where I'm on. Dark, depths. And there was an idea talked about over the weekend about in your PS, put a link that enables them to determine the frequency of their sends. By the way, James Schramko spoke at Traffic and Conversion.
Yeah, he told me he was off to the US.
Yeah.
What was he talking about?
Well, I saw about 2 minutes of his talk because it was the time when my connection was deciding to play silly buggers with me and drop out. It was a speaker panel, and it looked really good. But yeah, my internet connection wasn't crash hot on that one. I had a couple of issues like that. The majority of it's been good, but there's just a couple of times where I've lost a heap of stuff and been really a bit annoyed about it. I'm just trying to remember what was the bits that I did see here. No, it doesn't come to me, sorry.
Sorry, dude. We can come back to it.
Yep. Okay, so what else do I need to tell you about? The stuff at the top. So see, having trouble viewing this email, click here.
Yep.
The problem with that, the reason we're getting a 1.8 spam score is because the text is too light. Actually, the text is too light throughout. Now, what I do there, and again, we probably need to have a little bit of discussion about that. I tend to put something above that, having trouble viewing this email, that is like an intro, so that when people get it in their preview in their iPhone or whatever, they don't just get a preview of having trouble seeing this email. You know, the preview text that shows up. What sort of phone do you have?
iPhone.
So you know when you go into your messages and you see the first couple of lines of, like you see who it's from, the subject, and then you see the first couple of lines of the email. If you have that just there, that'll be the first thing they see. So that's why I put a little bit of text before it.
So here's the interesting thing. Would they see the subject line?
They see the subject line, yes.
First.
On an iPhone,
Yeah.
yep.
And then obviously the text.
Yep.
That you
They see
here.
They see what is it? Probably by the looks of my phone, it's probably the first 100 characters of text.
Okay. So this is why this logo needs to be removed, huh?
Yeah, the logo needs to be removed because when Luke and I discussed it, we thought, well, it doesn't really need to be in there twice.
Yeah.
And it shifts down your message to perhaps a bit more below the fold. The other thing that came out, and you may have already heard this, it's a pretty common sense thing that I'd certainly forgotten it if I'd heard it before, was that your first link should always be above the fold in an email.
Absolutely.
And I think we've been missing that point in the emails we have been sending.
Well, I've always tried to get the first link after the when I write emails. I have a paragraph, and the first link is immediately after the first paragraph, which is only 3 lines high. So how do we remove this?
Okay, sorry. With your little, just close out of that. With your little snippets thing, you're just going to have to drag it around the screen or close it. Probably just close it because then I can show you where to open it again.
Delete.
And yeah, you've now seen the garbage can on that, have you?
Yeah.
It was hiding.
All right, no problem. So if I need snippets again to build this,
Yep.
so we've got
Tools.
a text box here, and it's in Tools.
Yep.
It's text
And
filler.
merge will bring you up a list of all your merge fields.
That's Tools. All right.
So when you've got your snippets, if you bring your snippets up again,
Yep.
see you've got layout and style. Now layout you're probably not going to need to tinker with that much, but style, I've actually since updated a style since I made this template. So if you click on styles, and there should be one called BizRenos version 1. Yep, that's the one. If you click on that one, click or double click, I think it's just a click. See how our text changed to dark?
Yep.
Now, obviously, you'd already discovered there's things along the top menu you can do it, but that's a global change to the style sheet of this email. And that, if we save this and go out now, instead of a spam score of 1.8, it'll be 1.1 or something like that.
Okay. Is it whittling down where you live or where?
No, that was yesterday. It's pretty black off to the north, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's belting down here. Okay, all right. So to then send, so assume I write it, I'll insert a link into the body copy after the first usual email stuff.
Yep.
We've got our normal disclaimer at the bottom.
Yep.
Sorry, the normal contact links, etc., etc.
Yep. And I haven't tried removing the unsubscribe link, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be friendly if you tried to.
No, you have to have the unsubscribe button in there, and I prefer to keep it there so that we're also complying with the law of this land.
Yeah.
So then, once you've typed it, do you need to save it, or do you just?
If you close without saving, it will prompt you.
Okay.
But I always click save first.
Yeah.
It's nice, gives you a little last save thing there.
Yeah. And then
you close. Yep.
All right. So now we've got the email done, composed. Score's gone down because of
Yep.
the change you made.
Yep.
And then
There's still something else. I've got some investigation I've had on my to-do list for a month to try and get that 1.1 down, because it's about the URL being on the grey list. I need to figure out what we can do about that. Possibly is nothing.
all right. So then you can send a test, or
Yep.
you hit next. So
Yep.
let's assume we've sent a test.
Yep.
Um,
And you can choose a different contact for some reason if you wanted to send a test to somebody else.
all right, I'm going to send it to me. So this is actually very similar to Aweber in that respect.
Yep.
Let's see if this comes into my inbox. There you go, it's coming.
Brilliant.
Cool.
So, yep, you've allowed images. All cool.
Alrighty. So I'm happy with the email. All the links work.
Yep.
And then we go to
Next. Or you could save it as a draft if for some reason whatever happened. Now notice you can also schedule it, but beware, it's not our Eastern Standard Time.
I know,
It's
US.
yeah.
Same as Aweber. Do you really want to send this at 2 o'clock in the morning? Well, yes, I do, because it's 9 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah.
All right, so do I need to click on any of these?
Yes.
I have read and agreed
Required items
to,
at the
I have
top.
permission to email these contacts.
Yep.
Um,
Okay, share with your network. I haven't done yet because I haven't had time to experiment with it. And it also will only send to whoever's account is linked. So that's something we need to look at, and so your user would be connected to your Facebook. Now, like I say, I haven't experimented with it, so I might not be 100% correct here, but my understanding is that it would link to your Facebook.
yeah,
and post to your Facebook.
It's exactly the same as Aweber.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll hit done.
And also, I don't think it's appropriate. I think you're better off with something tailored to Facebook to post.
Yeah. All right, completed. Total send 3.
So notice at this point you could save it as a new template. So if it was something you'd done and you thought, okay, well, we're going to be sending this to every new group of Platinum that comes in, or we're going to be sending this to everybody after they've completed whatever stage. This is the first time I'm doing it, but I'm going to save it as a template for future. Okay.
And it sends me a batch result as well.
Yep.
I'll skip one, obviously, because it's recognized a duplication of my email.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, all good. This bit, I have to say, is very, very similar to Aweber, but obviously everything else is much more detailed. Okay.
Well, yeah, when you see campaigns, you'll see the difference.
Well, I'm not going to go into campaigns this morning, because otherwise you and I will be here for forever and a day, and setting up a campaign is something, quite frankly, we'll get an Infusionsoft guru at some point, customer relations guru, to do that. I just need.
We'll have a look at one that I've done. We'll if we've got time today, if I can just show you one that I won't show you how to set it up. I'll just show you what it looks like.
Well, before we
just to give you a background.
That's an email broadcast. We've gone through an individual contact and merged duplicates, which is good. We've got a broadcast out, and that HTML editor is actually quite similar to Aweber, so that's cool.
Yep, the drag and drop. Yep.
Yeah. The other thing is, within Infusionsoft, if we were to do a blog post, I'm assuming the blog post is still written in WordPress in the and then the link to the post goes into the email in Infusionsoft, and that's pretty much it. Now, the only other thing I need to ask before we both have a bathroom break, and then we'll come back, is there any linking? Let's say we do a blog post, the email goes out through Infusionsoft. There isn't at this stage, correct me if I'm wrong, a way to link that email into a post in Facebook, apart from the standard sharing that we've got at the bottom of each email, which is similar to Aweber, but
yeah, and that's where, like, I don't actually think it's appropriate, because you've got one content that's written for a particular audience, your email audience. It's written with that style. There's a better way to do the blog posts.
Agreed.
Which
is the downside. Absolutely agree. The downside of Aweber is I've had to go back and edit the post because how it's written in email doesn't translate elegantly in Facebook. So there isn't an automatic way, is what I'm asking.
Well, there is. There's that way that I showed you before, where you clicked on edit and wanted you to authorise your account and all that.
Yeah.
But I really don't think it's appropriate. I think that for the little bit of extra effort it takes to post to Facebook, and there are some tricks with doing that, which I'll explain to you about. We need to look at the blog posts. If you're going to start doing the blog posts yourself, and doing that, there's a couple of key elements that we need to put in to make sure. What I do is I set open graph tags that sets the title and the so when you put the URL into Facebook and it automatically comes up with stuff, it sets the image, it sets the title, so that you get what you want them to see in there. There's no other way to get it in there. So you need to set those, put it, and that might be something for another training, perhaps.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, I think in terms of WordPress, although I'm slightly out of date, I get exactly where you're coming from, because I used to do a blog post, a video with written post, as you see in Get Online, the old stuff. I used to try and do like one a week, and Luke and I agreed that once a fortnight is going to be the right level in a short term, because we've got so much marketing stuff going out around these free webinars that if we have on top of that blog post, we're gonna just flood people. So yeah, I hear. How about we have a quick break and then we'll come back.
All right, sounds good.
I'll be 2 minutes. I'll just get some water and we'll come back in 2 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Cheers, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.